Recently in Vaughan, Ontario, a man was charged with a number of criminal offenses for discharging a firearm in an attempt to stop a theft that was occurring at his residence. At least one viewer has asked us to do a video about this, and it's an area of particular interest to us here at Don't Talk TV as well. So we're going to have a look at that this week. Hello, my name is Nicholas Wansbutter. I'm a lawyer in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, and welcome to Don't Talk TV. If you're new to this channel, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing if you find that you like the video as you watch it. For return viewers, please, if you like the video, please give it that thumbs up and spread the word. As I've said before, on many occasions, we've been stuck at 8,500 subscribers for over 2 years. It's probably getting close to 3 years at this point. We're hoping to eventually break through that 10,000 mark, and then I think sky's the limit after that. So I hate to keep having to say this every video, but we really appreciate it. Every like, subscribe, and all the comments have been great. So please keep those coming. So with that said, let's go straight into the issue of the day. This is this gentleman who's been charged in Vaughan, Ontario. And let's take a look at a article here that gives us a bit of a synopsis of what happened here. So, Vaughan man charged for firing gun to thwart theft attempt. York police advised the public not to take justice into your own hands. So apparently it looks like it was a 35-year-old man. He was arrested along with the suspected thieves on June the 12th. After, and it looks like it was an attempted theft of a vehicle where was the context of this discharging of a firearm. Now, the details are always extremely important. Now, we don't have all the details, obviously, because this case hasn't been to court. The police aren't going to give us all of their evidence at this point, but we've got a few details in this news article and others. And if viewers have other articles with better and more information, please share those with us, and we'd be happy to maybe do a follow-up episode if it's warranted. But so here we just have the key thing here. Vaughan man was arrested along with 4 theft suspects on June the 12th after officers were called to a home in the Pine Heights Drive on 4 a.m. after receiving a call about an attempted vehicle theft. Now, here's the thing. The guy's talking to the police. I think he is, or maybe there's a neighbor who's calling about it. But it says, during a phone call to alert officers about the theft attempt, police say the phone operator heard a gun being fired. And then, so they scoured the area, found the suspects, and no injuries were reported. So I don't know if he fired a warning shot or if he tried shooting one of them and he missed. All I know is that no one was actually injured. So the thieves were charged with break enter, attempt theft, motor vehicle, etc. But here's the key, I think, to the arrest of this Vaughan man, and the charges that were laid tell us a few things about this case. So he faces a charge of discharge of firearm, possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, careless storage of a firearm, and unauthorized possession of a prohibited or restricted weapon. So here's a big piece of the issue here, and a big piece, I think, of why he was charged. This man clearly was not in lawful possession of the firearm he used. He did not have the type of license needed. Now, prohibited or restricted weapons, I don't know exactly whether it was actually prohibited or restricted. Clearly, he didn't have an RPAL, and I don't know if it's a weapon that was, or a firearm that was previously restricted or non-restricted and has since been prohibited by the orders in council. But either way, he doesn't have the license. So, for example, if an individual had possession of a formerly non-restricted firearm that's now been prohibited, but they had a PAL, a possession acquisition license the whole time, they would not be charged with this because those are grandfathered. Even though they're prohibited, you can't buy them, you can't sell them, but you're allowed to keep them. So this man did not have a firearms license, or if it was an AR-15, maybe he had a PAL, but not an RPAL. So that's problem number one, is this man was already breaking the law by illegally possessing a firearm. Now, we could argue over whether we should need firearms licenses, but I don't think that's the point here. The point is you need to have a license. He didn't have one. And not surprisingly, when you own a firearm illegally, people generally who illegally possess firearms don't store them properly. So he wasn't storing it properly. So those two charges, that has nothing to do with self-defense. That's just being a criminal to begin with. Like, I don't know if this was some drug deal gone bad or something like that, but this man clearly is not your average innocent law-abiding citizen who's just trying to take care of himself. I'm assuming that these charges are legitimate, but at this stage, I guess we don't know. Maybe the police just threw a bunch of charges at the wall to see if something would stick, and he actually does have a license. We'll have to see. But this gives a flavor to the case, because in a lot of the other high-profile cases that I've covered in the past, there's no such charges. The person is in completely lawful possession of the firearm, and they used it to defend themselves. Now, the discharge of firearm in possession for a dangerous purpose, this goes back to the defense of property, or the self-defense. It seems he was defending property, not defending himself. Now, I don't know whether it was a warning shot or he just missed. I think warning shots are completely ridiculous and will pretty much always result in a charge, and rightly so, because they serve no purpose. Because either you're actually in danger and you need to defend yourself, in which case firing a warning shot just gives those people another chance to kill you or seriously harm you. If you need to defend yourself, defend yourself. Don't fire a warning shot. Stop the threat. And warning shots, you don't know where it's going. That's not a well-aimed shot. It could go and hit your neighbor. It could go hit someone's dog. Could hit a child. So I think they're inherently dangerous and uncontrolled, and they don't really accomplish anything. I mean, they might scare someone off, but if it's a situation where they can be scared off and you don't have to actually defend your life, then you don't need to discharge the firearm. You could probably scare them off another way. So I am not a proponent of warning shots whatsoever. I think you'll always get charged. I think even police would get charged for firing a warning shot. They would not be charged if they actually shot the guy. Never, ever. Almost never, ever. There's some very rare circumstances where they might be. But let's look at the criminal code for a bit more detail. Now, I will pause and say, I'm just going to do a quick overview here. I did a very detailed discussion of self-defense law in Canada in episodes 18 and 19. So if you want to learn more, you want to get a stronger grip on what our defense laws are, have a look at those episodes. But in the meantime, here's if he's defending himself, there's 3 requirements to be able to claim self-defense. 1, you have to believe on reasonable grounds that force is being used against you or another person, or that a threat of force is being made. So that's where it goes back to what I was saying. If you're in danger, you need to defend yourself. That's section A. B, the act that constitutes the offense. So, for example, discharging a firearm, that has to be done for the purpose of defending or protecting yourself. Now, that goes again back to my comment on warning shots. I don't think those have the purpose of defending or protecting yourself, or very tangentially. Again, stop the threat. If you're in threat of death, protect yourself. Don't waste your time and ammo on some warning shot that could blow away an innocent person. Take out the person if that's what you have to do to save your life, and the criminal code says you can do that. And then C, the act committed is reasonable in the circumstances. Now, again, I've already said why I think warning shots are unreasonable, but there's a number of factors that are listed here. Again, check out episodes 18 and 19 for a detailed analysis of those. Now, this individual may be trying to rely on defensive property, but in order to have a defensive property, they have similar requirements to self-defense. You have to believe that you're in peaceable possession of property and you're acting under the authority of or lawfully assisting the person who owns it. You believe on reasonable grounds another person is about to enter it, take the property, damage or destroy it, and the act that constitutes the offense, so again here discharging a firearm, has to be done for the purpose of preventing that person from entering the property, or removing the person from the property, or preventing them from taking, damaging, or destroying the property. And then again, the act committed has to be reasonable. So this is where I think you'd get in trouble. Discharging a firearm to protect property, potentially killing or grievously wounding someone, is that a proportionate response to someone just taking a thing versus threatening your life. That would be the issue here. Now, this is in the context, of course, of Canada. We're not talking about the way we'd like things to be, but the way the law is interpreted here. And in my view, I can't see very many Canadian courts deeming it reasonable to kill someone to protect a car or some property. Now, I mean, if they're invading your house, that's different. But if they're invading your house, that threat to your own person, that's a piece of it now as well. Now, I mean, Doug Ford said that he thinks we should have castle doctrines. I 100% agree with him. Unfortunately, we don't. So I'm just telling you the law as it stands. This person may be in some trouble, but it depends on the circumstances, right? We know very little. We just know what he's been charged with, and that the perpetrators that he was trying to stop, that they were charged as well. But there's a few things that are giving my spider sense a little bit of a tingle that maybe this guy that fired the shot, well, wasn't acting in the most prudent fashion. And this doesn't sound like it's a classic case of where this person's life is in danger and they're just trying to preserve their life. But in any event, this video is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, contact a lawyer. Now, if you want me to be that lawyer, my contact information is listed below, but it's important to call a lawyer for actual legal advice where you retain them. They can review the details of your situation and give you advice tailored to your situation versus a general informational video like this. As I said, we're enjoying the commentary, and we welcome suggestions. This episode was based on a suggestion or a request for a show topic, so please send those requests to the email address listed below. And as I said at the beginning, if you found this video at all interesting, helpful, or informative, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and following us on social media.